here's the battery pack. So this is what charges up, powers up the vehicle. It weighs 600 pounds. It's made up of 192 lithium-ion battery cells. And these lithium-ion cells are a little different from a laptop battery. They're a different chemistry, lithium-ion manganese. The only reason I mention that is that they're actually engineered to run at a cooler temperature than a laptop battery, which means that you can run them in high heat circumstances without any problems with the pack overheating. So we were in Hartford a couple weeks ago. It was actually 112 degrees. So we got to put that right to the test, and the cars did great. The battery temperature never came up at all. So that's really important. In cold weather, like Chicago gets in the winter, there's a warming system on the battery pack now for the 2012 models. So if the battery temperature ever drops down too low, that warming system comes on to keep the battery pack warm. So you're going to get the same range regardless of the time of year. The range is about 100 miles on a full charge, and the average cost at home to charge up the car is about $3. So 3 cents a mile basically is what you'll pay. It could be even less if you guys get off-peak rates. You can set a timer on the car to only charge at night when your electricity is the cheapest, and then you can get that rate down even more, so it could be less expensive. Warranty on the battery pack is 8 years or 100,000 miles, and then the expected life on the battery is actually more than that. But what happens over time is it'll gradually lose some capacity like any battery does. So by 100 to 120,000 miles, this battery pack should still hold 70 to 80% of its initial capacity. And then it's up to you guys. If you want to keep driving with it, if you only do 30 miles a day and keep on going. If you do 60 or 70 miles a day, then at that point you'd probably want to come to us, find out what we've got going on with battery replacement. It's hard to predict the price 10 years in advance, but our goal as a company is to make enough of these that the price comes down very quickly, as we've seen happen with hybrid batteries. So hopefully the same will happen with electric vehicle batteries, and you can just replace it. Do you guys have any questions on the battery packs?
Either making batteries now in Smyrna, is that starting up there?
We're going to start making the batteries in Smyrna, Tennessee next year, in 2012. I believe it'll be middle of year, and same with the cars. The cars will be made there as well. Good question. So charging it up, you've got 2 options for charging at home. One option right behind you guys, we flip around here. This is an in-home charging unit. So we can install this at your house. Someone will at least come out and give you an estimate for free so you can find out how much it'll cost to install this. But this charges up the car using 220 volts of electricity in under 8 hours. So overnight, basically. You wake up, you got a full charge every morning. This is not mandatory. We do have another option, which is to plug into a 110 outlet. The plug comes with the car. There's just a small drawback to charging on a 110 outlet. Does anyone know what it is?
Takes longer.
Exactly, it takes a lot longer. It can take up to 20 hours to do a full charge on a 110 outlet. So that's why we recommend that you guys have in-home charging equipment. The nice thing about it as well is that it's standardized now. This plug is the same plug that every other major automaker in the US is using from now on. So if you happen to own a Nissan Leaf and maybe some other brand of electric vehicle, you can use the same plug for both cars. Only need one. Any questions on charging? Yeah.
So does that only work for single family homes? Like if you have a condo or an apartment, can't use that?
You just have to get permission from your association to install it, but you can have it installed and you can actually get it separately metered even if you want to, so that you can pay for the electricity on your own. Of course, if you live in an apartment, it can be trickier. I live in an apartment, so I actually would have to get permission from my landlord to install this or rely on public charging. The benefit you guys have in Chicago is that the city is planning to install around 500 charging docks all over the greater Chicago area. Many of them will be just exactly like this one, which basically gives you 12 miles every hour. So while you're at work downtown, you could fully charge your car. Or they could be